Okay, we're going to take another look at another Dinky Toy airplane. And as far as Dinky Toys go, they're little die-cast toys. All sorts of things are made by the Mosquito company that made Dinky Toys. Here's a nice Mosquito magazine from the 1939, I think it is. And you can see the sort of rather spiffing toys that kids could get at that time. And some of these motorcar constructor outfits, very nice. Okay, anyway, oh yeah, so anyway, here we are all of a sudden at the Dinky Toy section. And the plane we're going to look at today, you can see the sorts of things Dinky made. But the plane we're going to look at is, I think we can get to it, this one right here, the Frobisher. Now it looks a pretty undistinguished sort of advertisement. Doesn't look like a cool plane at all, actually. So anyway, that's the Mosquito magazine. There's a cigarette card of the time, of the little Albatross they call it, or a Frobisher. And it gives basically, you could read that if you want to stop the screen, it tells you all about it. Anyway, that was issued by Tobacco Company. And anyway, the toy first came out in 1939, and they built 11 aircraft of the type. I think in here they actually show some here. Oh yeah, here we go. So the big article on the DH, Albatross monoplane. So it's sort of a big deal. And why was it a big deal? Well, you can sort of see here. Here's another older magazine, The Wonders of World Aviation, 7pence. And in here they actually have a nice little article on the new Albatross. And you can see it was quite amazing. It was all made out of wood, and but when you think of modern composite like carbon fiber or fiberglass, they have fibers in a matrix of epoxy, very similar to wood that's used in aircraft. Similar weight. Anyway, so this was a cool plane because here's the competition. And this up here is a Handley Page H-42, and that was what was the status at the time of passenger planes. They had a number of them. They're noisy, cold, expensive, and seem to have a built-in headwind. They're called, they all had names starting with H because they came from Handley Page. Hannibal, Hanno, Horatius, Horst, Henga. So the British had a big thing about naming airplanes to do with same letters. Must be something to do with crossword puzzles or something. Anyway, so there's that. And then here we have in this Skyriders, zoom out again, a nice little double-page spread of GAEVV. And oddly enough, if we pull over here, a little Dinky Toy box, inside is a GAEVV. And there it is. De Havilland Albatross Mail Liner. The box is like this. It's got the details on it. GAEVV. And let's see. They have oh yeah, and I guess just to some indication of this airplane, it's all made out of wood, believe it or not. And it led, the information or the knowledge they gained putting this together led to the Mosquito fighter bomber de Havilland, which is an exceptional aircraft. Really, it's faster than a Spitfire. It could carry pretty well the same bomb weight as a B-17 on some missions. Made out of all wood, two crew, pilot and navigator. So we have this. So what we have is this plane. This is the mail liner, and it's up there somewhere. And we have other similar planes. Let's see. Yeah, they came in boxes like this, and they actually indicated the different planes that were in it. This one here had the Falcon. Oh, let's see, what did this one have? Okay, let's go. This one had the Frobisher in it. This one also has a Frobisher. Again, different box types, very interesting. FDI. And over here we have the other box, Fortuna. So Dinky made 4 models that matched some of the 7 models that actually existed in the real world. And it's sort of funny, you see these airplanes, and you wonder why Dinky never made models of some iconic planes, like, say, the Mustang, or the Lancaster, or the Mosquito, as I was mentioning. And I think it was because during the war, Dinky was making parts for real planes. No more toys. And they didn't have a chance to actually produce anything new. That's why after the war, I guess, you got a lot of models that were reissued with new paint jobs, new names. So under the wing here, we see precursor glass liner. And under the first one, I think there's the FDI. It actually says, what does it say? Precursor class airliner, that one too. Okay, I thought there was one here that, yeah, here we go. That one says, it says Albatross. So you can see the difference right there. And then, as I was mentioning, after the war, Dinky came out with, using the same casting, they came out with a number of other aircraft. These modeled real aircraft. It's sort of neat because on the nose, you can see that there's the name, right? FDJ, there's the name, Falcon. See the gliding game hole here. This is, you put a wire through that and you can make it land. Actually, one of these planes, real planes, crash landed at Puckle Church, which is Puckle Church's claim to fame, I guess, is village in Gloucestershire. And yeah, that was the end of that plane. So let's take a look at all the different variants here. As I say, Dinky, on this plane, they ended up making 22 variants. You know, different call letters, different colors. Here's another silver one. There's sort of a mythical registration. And this one, you notice it says 4-engine liner. There's a post-war reissue of that same basic casting, TPV. And then oh yes, and during the war, or just before the war, Dinky put out these versions of it, which is in camouflage. That's light camouflage. And they also put out a nighttime camouflage color. You can see the differences there. And underneath they say, can we get that focus? Yeah, precursor class airliner. As I say, the ones after the war came out as 4-engine liners. So here we go, some post-war variants that we can see here. Yeah, so can we zoom out on this thing? No, that's it. So we've got to compress them a bit. So you can start to see some of the variants. In some ways, neat old plane, but now they're sort of made up like clowns in a way. Here's in the TPV. So what we have here is 12 variants of the 22 that are available. This TPV appears in different colors. We got it in blue, got it in silver. And then we have this strange combination of green and red ailerons, blue with red ailerons. And that's really it. I'm showing 5 box variants and 22 variants of the actual planes themselves. And that's really what you see here. Let's take a look under this wing here. Yeah, 4-engine liner. The other difference too, I guess, is if you look under the wing, on the other side, we show, made by Meccano, one is big print, one is little print. That again counts as a variant. It's funny, the planes all have 3-bladed props, but the real planes only had 2 initial planes. And yeah, I might say on Wiki, you know, if you look up these planes, the Albatross and so on, got a lot of interesting information on them. Anyway, that's the Dinky Toy variant of the, oh, here's another magazine article. I'll put this over here. This is the ADL, oops. And up here is the Falcon. Wings a piece, I don't know where they get that from, but And there's the Frobisher up there. GAFDJ, there's one right there. Whoops. Yeah. So it's sort of a little known plane, but it was quite important at the time. And yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks.